Today, we got a special guest. We are going to learn about first position HELOCs. And no, we're not talking about second position that people usually get once they have some equity. We're talking about how you can get a first position HELOC on your property and how it actually is way more beneficial than a traditional 30-year mortgage or a 15-year mortgage or anything else. And we've got the expert teaching us how to do that. We've got Tyler Hennessee. What's up, bro?
What's up?
What up?
Then we got my bald co-host, Brian Davila.
What up? I'm excited to learn.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
He was trying to tell you about it at church the other, time he was here, and you couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're
It
gonna
was the
dumb
60
it
second,
down.
the 60-second pitch. I'm like, this is not going to go well.
Well, let's see how it goes in 60
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. There we go.
So, dude, what the heck is a first position HELOC? Because I remember we were on an M19 trip and we were riding back. Where were we? Kiowa Island?
That was I think that maybe, I don't remember, Cabo or Kiowa.
Cabo or Kiowa.
Yeah.
And you were telling me about it, and I was like, yeah, I get it. A HELOC, that's
Mhm.
fine. And you're like, no, it's not like your normal HELOC. This is different when it's in first position. Like, people will refinance their normal mortgage,
Mhm.
which is like a 30-year, into a first position HELOC. And you start making way more principal pay down with this method versus the typical amortization schedule. So, like, explain to me how this works.
Okay, well, there's a lot to unfold, but we'll try to make this as simple as possible. But basically, starting with the context that what you just said, when you see the word HELOC in Vegas, on a billboard or at a bank, or in Texas where I live, 99% of them are second position HELOCs. That's what HELOCs were intended for originally, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
You guys are real estate guys. You get mortgage on a home, you get a second lien HELOC. Why do most people get a second lien HELOC? For
Cash.
remodeling the kitchen,
Yeah.
maybe cash to go buy something they don't need to buy, consumer debt, things that I don't personally agree with. What you hear a lot on YouTube and social media, people will use that, what's called velocity banking or chunking method. So they'll have a first position mortgage and they'll chunk it down to try to accelerate paying it off.
Okay.
And then they'll live out of that. That's a method out there that does work. Because most people, if they haven't heard of it, they don't think it works. What I teach and what I was taught that's changed my life a ton was the first position HELOC.
And for those who don't know, a HELOC stands for home equity line of credit.
Mhm.
You can just tap into it. You can pay it down, keep it going.
Yep.
You have more flexibility than a 30-year loan where it's just a fixed payment.
Correct. And then the first thing that starts happening, and I want to say this from a positive standpoint, but people start throwing all the stones of things that they've heard from a second position HELOC. So we got to make sure we're talking about the same thing. If we're going to have a discussion or even an argument, we got to make sure we're talking about the same thing. So if everyone's talking about a second position HELOC
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking about a first position HELOC, we got to make sure that what we're talking about. So inside my community, in my company, we only strategize with a first position HELOC, meaning there is no more mortgage. So there's no more, like if you had $400,000 of debt on your mortgage and we refinanced it into a first position HELOC, now you have a $400,000 debt and a new vehicle. That's all that's happened. We just transferred the vehicle, right?
Yep.
But the interest is calculated completely differently. So on a 30-year mortgage, most people understand how that works. They amortize it from the very beginning. You know what your fixed payment's going to be. And we've been taught that fixed payment and low rate is what to focus on. But who taught us that? It's like the banking system, the mortgage company who wants to call us every 5 to 7 years to refinance, start the whole process over again. And a first position HELOC, first of all, they're not all the same. So there's variables with HELOCs across the country. You can't just say, I got a HELOC. I'm like, well, what type of HELOC? What variables did you get? What was your draw period? What was your rate? Did you get a promo rate? How are you going to strategize and all those things? So that really matters. In the first position HELOC, simply the interest is recasted every 24 hours.
Okay.
Based off of the principal balance owed.
At that time.
Correct. So my team kind of laughs. They don't love this word. Manipulate has a bad connotation, but I think it's the perfect word. You can manipulate your time and balance with a first position HELOC like you cannot with any other method out there. If you put a lot of extra money on a first position mortgage, it's trapped. You have no access to it. Your payment doesn't come down. And the only way you're going to be able to benefit from that money is do a cash out refi or sell the home or a second lien HELOC.
Yeah.
So you're like, great.
Mm-hmm.
You threw 30 grand onto your mortgage. Nothing changed in the immediate.
Yeah, your payment didn't change. Your amortization schedule didn't change. You just paid down principal.
Right.
It's like you just added a bigger down payment at the end of the day.
Exactly. So, but on a first position HELOC, instantly your payment comes down that day.
Yeah.
And you go, why does that matter? It matters a ton because you have full access to that capital too. So you can play a leverage game each month based off of what you're making. And using your equity for you, which I get into like interest arbitrage and, lending it out in a safe way and stuff like that. But that's like a bird's eye view that we look at time and balance first with our clients. So if we can get the time and balance to a certain level, we can make the rate negligible. Like the rate doesn't, like I had a guy yesterday, ran his calculation at a 3% rate just to show him kind of COVID days. And we ran it at a 10, and it was a 6-month difference on payoff. That was
for the 30 years.
Well, it won't take 30 years. It's taking 5.3. So
why
it was
would it only take him 5 years?
Because of how he's going to utilize his cash now. So he was making, I don't want to give all, he was making good money a month, about $20,000 a month, and didn't have high expenses. So he can defer, he can put his money on his first position HELOC while floating his expenses throughout the month. So there's a lot of nuances that get in, and I'm happy to break it down. But
let's just break this down simply. So in a typical 30-year loan right now today, the average home in America is about $500,000. So if you go get, rates, I don't know if they're going up or down.
6.75 right now.
Yeah, they're going up.
Up right now.
So it's like, let's say they're 7%. You have that, and that means if you put very minimum down, you're looking at a mortgage payment of like $3,500, give or take. And if you, pay that down at all, like you said, you want to pay extra towards it, your mortgage payment is still $3,500.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, the first many years of the loan, you're paying down a couple $100 a month.
Absolutely.
Of principal, like towards the whole $3,500. Like almost all of it is interest, taxes, insurance.
For like the first 10 to 12 years.
Right.
Yep.
And then if you make it to year 15, it finally starts to shift where you pay more principal down than interest and, all that other stuff. So what makes a HELOC different? So let's just say that same home, okay, I can get a 30-year fixed at 7%. What am I getting a HELOC at if I was to go get that loan as a HELOC?
It's going to depend on you, the client. Like what is your credit score? So credit scores matter. Y'all know that, right?
Yep.
So if you come in with a 650 credit score, it's not going to work for you. You need to have at least a 680. I like to see 700. If you're above 720, we can typically get you up to like a 90% loan to value. So for that $500,000 home, a loan to value on that would be $450,000.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You following me? If you
need 10% down,
you need at least 10% down, and I wouldn't even start yet. Because then you don't have access to any capital, and it could be not the best place of starting.
So you would do 20% down?
Correct. So now I have access to $50,000. Let's say we put 20% down.
Okay, so you put 20% down. What kind of interest rate are you getting?
Right now, right around prime. So you have three things typically that we see. It's tied to prime, plus or minus, just based on credit score.
What is prime right now for those who don't know?
Today, probably 6.7, 6.8, something like that.
Okay, so the same.
Yeah, exactly. And so, or we SOFR secured overnight funding rate, or tied to the T-bill, and all those things depend on the bank that we're with. But regardless, you're going to see in between. Right now, like I have one bank that has a promo rate at 4.5%. And then we have banks that are running, 7%.
Hey, real quick, I'm looking for one company to partner with this month and run their entire marketing and sales department. That means we're going to run their ads, build their funnels, manage their CRM, hire and train their sales team and manage them, and just handle all of the front end revenue for this business. All you would have to do is just manage fulfillment and serve your clients well. And for doing this, we're not going to do any kind of equity. It is just going to be a profit share agreement. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, go to PinedaPartners.com right now. You can apply today. We're only taking on one company. And so if you think your company's a fit, make sure you apply today. You've got to be doing at least $50,000 a month in revenue in order for us to even look at it. So go to PinedaPartners.com today. Now, a promo rate, is it just for like the first year? Or
so they go from 6 months to 5. I've seen up to 5 years. So I had a 0.99 on the entirety of my home in 2020. I had a 2.99 in 21 and 22 because I just refinanced as soon as the promo rate ran out, and I didn't pay for title, closing, appraisal, nothing. So no closing cost. So my rate was actually lower than the mortgage rate even doing it, even though the rate's not the most important thing.
What's yours today, your rate?
Right now, like I'm closing. So I just told you guys I'm closing on Tuesday next week in a purchase HELOC at 6.99. It's tied to prime.
Okay, so basically the rates are the same.
Yeah.
Right now.
But people will tell you they're not because they're talking about second position HELOCs.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
first position. A second position HELOC might be like what, 9-10% or something?
It could be like, 8, 9, 10, 11%, something like that.
Okay. So the first position right now is the same. So why is it better than a 30-year fixed?
So let's just what do you like? Even you guys, which I really don't know, but when you normally get paid, I know you're business owners. But let's just say you are on W-2 or even 1099. You get paid weekly, maybe every day. Whenever you get paid, where does your money typically go?
The bank.
Right? Checking account or savings account.
Checking.
Right.
Checkings.
Or some people are like, well, yeah, I move it into a high yield savings. Great. You're still losing to inflation, or a CD, all these bank owned products.
Yep.
Instead of doing that, if the mortgage company allowed this, I'm not saying this in any type of like pushy way, but you guys already be doing it because you're smart enough strategically to do this. If it can sit against your balance daily, reducing the balance daily, saving you money daily, then you're going to store it there like a checking account, because money can move in and out as many times as you want.
You're storing your money in the HELOC.
I use the HELOC like it's a checking account. So like I could literally say, okay, I made a $20,000 bonus. Instead of sitting in my checking or savings account doing nothing,
You'll pay off your HELOC.
I'm going to put it in my HELOC to reduce the balance daily. So it's, even if it was in a 5% CD, let's say you got a real great CD, it's going to save you more money per day sitting on the first position HELOC than it's making you in those bank owned products. And I can show you mathematically it's 100%.
So let's say, to your point, right? I have a HELOC for 400 grand. The alternative scenario was I put 10% down on a fixed rate mortgage, right? And so, I could have 50K in the bank, on the fixed rate mortgage, or I could have no money in the bank, but, have a HELOC that only has 400K. So that's where the savings is happening.
That or like you might have stuff in stocks, crypto, other liquid stuff that we can use. Like a guy yesterday had a money market. We're going to utilize some of that. But this is, if you don't have, like if you're making $10,000 a month and you're spending $9,000 a month, this would not be a good scenario for you. But neither would a mortgage. Like I don't know how you have a mortgage. And in a mortgage, if you don't pay for 3 or 4 months, they take the home from you. In this scenario, like I left my full-time job in June of 24, and my backup plan was like, I'm not gonna lose my home, but I'm gonna live off the equity because it's an interest-only payment with the banks that I work with. So it would just draw from the interest only, and I would live off that until I found, my next job.
So what's the payment on this scenario we're talking about? So the 7%, 400K.
So the banks I'm working with, it's going to be interest only. I don't want principal. So some banks do interest and principal. As I said, all HELOCs are different, but the banks we work with, interest only, 10-year draw period. So interest only, let's say in that same scenario, you're making $10,000 a month and you spend, your expenses are $6,000 a month. Okay. That $10,000 is going to sit on the HELOC and take your balance down to $390. Now it's going to draw interest to calculate the payment every day of the month. Say 30 days of the month, it's going to calculate the payment on day 1, day 2, with that $10,000 sitting on there, reducing the balance. While you're living off of your credit card expenses, deferring it, floating it.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the month, day 27, 28, 29, you'll pay that credit card bill, and the balance will go up to $396. Right? But what's about to happen again? You're about to get paid again. So it's going to go back down to $386. And it's like, I always give the seesaw. It's like just moving in this direction.
Right.
You have access to the capital the whole time, but instead of sitting in a checking or savings account, it's actually working for you instead of working for the bank. And that's before we get into
what's the payment on, 400K interest only?
You mean do
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we do like a high rate, if we did like if we did a 7%, let's see what that is. 0.0019. So
does it amortize over 30 years or no?
No,
it's daily interest.
Daily interest. So times, you
That's
said
the difference.
A $400,000 balance, you said?
Yeah.
So per day it's $76. So 76 times 30, it'd be $2,280 of interest.
Yeah.
The rest of the money is sitting against the principal balance, reducing the principal balance, making your next payment lower for the next month because the payment is not fixed.
But you're basically, it's $2,300 plus. The only thing missing would be insurance and taxes.
So we add that into our expenses when we do our calculations.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, like, in general, the difference might be like, what? If 400,000...
I'll tell you, it's cheaper. Almost.
No, I know.
Always.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because think about this. When you get your mortgage, you bought it at $450. They amortize it off of $450. That's your payment off of $450.
But let's say it's a $400,000 mortgage because apples to apples.
Then it's going to be almost identical. But now we're going to take your taxes and insurance and have it work for you against the HELOC. Do y'all get, are y'all annual or biannual in Vegas for taxes and insurance?
We just pay it monthly as part of our mortgage.
But I mean, if you didn't put it in your escrow, do you know what it is?
I think it's quarterly.
Okay. Texas is annually.
Okay.
So now that money sits on my HELOC working for me throughout the whole year, and I just have an expensive December. But I know when I pay that $15,000 or $17,000, it worked against my balance, reducing the interest, saving me money every day throughout the whole year.
Yeah. So, to be clear, just for the listeners, because we're talking,
I know we got in the weeds quick.
No, I mean, like, I get it, but I'll reiterate it. So, if you had a $400,000 loan My math is like I just use like $700 per 100,000.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
I do about 600 typically, 650.
yeah.
Yeah, that's close.
So well, with rates now today, it's probably like really 700.
Yeah.
You know, so
Fair.
you're like
Or more.
$2,800 on a $400,000 mortgage. You're saying on the same $400,000 mortgage, you're at like $2,300 before taxes and insurance. Which I use Vegas because Vegas and Texas are different.
Yeah,
Your guys' property taxes are insane.
absolutely.
Our taxes are super cheap. Our
Mm.
taxes would be 0.5% basically for the purchase price. So, you know, on the whatever,
$2,000 or something like that.
it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking like $200 a month plus insurance. I don't know what insurance is, maybe 100.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, you
That's
know,
wild.
you're at like 2,600 versus 2,800, but you're not paying down any principal, you know, like they are. So, like, it's pretty equal payment wise.
And the payment, yeah. So like we don't want the payment to be higher, obviously, but the payment is actually going to be reduced every month if we do the strategy properly,
Why?
because the principal balance is coming down, and this interest is calculated off of that principal balance, unlike the mortgage where it was fixed from the very beginning.
So, explain like
So
how this plays out like over time.
So over time, let's say that 2,280 that we just said on that number, it's going to go down from 2,280 to 2,100
Because the balance is going down.
because the balance is going down because you're storing your money there, unless you have a better investment or opportunity or an emergency, of course. But the other alternative would be you guys, not you guys, but people are saving that money in a emergency fund, making nothing or making 2%.
I get what's happening. So let's just say I'm somebody who's making 20K a month and I live frugally and I only spend 10K,
Mhm.
right? So instead of keeping this extra 10K that I'm netting each month after my expenses in a checking account or a savings account, or even, you know, in the stock market or whatever, you're saying apply the 10K towards principal on a HELOC. And, you know, in the next year, we'll have paid down the principal 120 grand, right? But the difference is you can always just take it back out when you need it.
You can't.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode, but how would you like to be the one that I'm interviewing on this show? I'm looking for entrepreneurs who've got a great message to share, who have an inspiring story, and who can add value to the audience. So submit by going to wealthyway.com.
And I do constantly. So as long as what I'm taking it out for is gonna, if it's an emergency, of course, because I'll retain it from my checking account anyways. At least, bless you. At least in this situation, we know that it's working for us. So we got to remember, like, think about your current situation. If you have an emergency or an opportunity, you take it from your checking or savings account typically. In this situation, we now have that money working for us against the balance daily, saving money literally every 24 hours.
Yeah, because you're not just getting the $10,000 difference, you're getting the $20,000.
Exactly.
You're getting this extra little $10,000 bump
Until you pay your expenses at the end of the month that we're deferring
30 days.
to only reflect for 1 or 2 or 3 days of the month.
I get what you're saying.
And on top of that, now I get into interest arbitrage of lending it out. Once we get to a level of safety, safe equity, you know, enough emergency fund in there. Now that's how I bought all my real estate properties, is like I took enough out to put 20% down on real estate, saying, okay, I'm loaning it out at 6%. Is my real estate going to make more than 6%? I'm putting it in whatever deals.
The reason this works is only for somebody who wants to pay down their mortgage quicker, but this is like in a better way to pay it down versus just paying down your fixed or your principal on the fixed, because either way that interest doesn't change.
And your
on the
money's
fixed.
tied.
Your money's tied. Yeah, and if you can't pay it down and never get it back,
Yeah.
like it's just stuck, right? So for this to work, somebody's got to want to pay down their mortgage quick.
Mhm.
And then 2 would be you got to be also just have margin between what you make and what you spend.
That's what we do in our pre-qualification and strategy calls. Like we literally,
If you do those 2 things, if those 2 things are, well, margin is, you know, margin and credit is on
huge.
you.
Yeah.
But then if you want to pay down your mortgage fast, then this makes sense.
Yes, and that's when I got into it. I thought it was just to pay my mortgage off. But again, all my mind went crazy. This is 6 years ago of everything I could do with it now. Because I was like, why do I want to pay my home down at age 39 and just have my home paid off? Great. Like the same thing of like, if you pay your home off and it's just sitting there, you're sitting on dead money, idle money. I want to be able to utilize it to make more money to leverage wisely, not over leverage, but to leverage wisely.
Mm-hmm.
You following me on that?
Yeah. So I guess like where I'm getting at is, let's just say you follow this method just to make this very simple. Option one, you start paying down your mortgage with this $10,000 savings. You have no liquidity because it just gets stuck.
Mhm.
Like, and so if you were to, let's just say you paid it down $5,000 a month,
Yeah.
because that's your margin, right? And you're just aggressively trying to pay down this mortgage. Like, I don't know how long it would take, but there's that.
Yeah.
Option two is you do what you do, where it's like, we're going to take the 10,000, put it all there. And yeah, we still have the same $5,000 expenses.
Yep.
But you know, to your point, your interest payment is going to keep decreasing way quicker with this method because you're holding this balance every 30 days of cash towards the pay down that just adds up over time. Like,
Yeah.
how much quicker would your mortgage get paid off, I guess, is my point.
So like our average client is like 5 to 10 years. Depending on the person. I mean, because some people, like I had a guy yesterday had 215,000 sitting in his checking account, and he owed 190 on his home. And I was like, dude, do you realize? I was like, when I look at your sheet, your home's already paid off. He said, no, it's not. I said, how much is your mortgage payment? 1980, something like that. I'm like, you can save $1,980 a month just by switching the vehicle. It was sitting in a checking account.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take this guy, right? So this guy, because you want to have cash in the bank. You don't
Absolutely.
want to not.
And you
cash,
have
right?
more because you access to up to 90% loan to value, so you get access to more for emergencies.
So this guy, let's just say he took your advice, he pays off his home, and you know, he gets an home equity
Yeah.
line of credit on it. What's he going to do from that point forward? How does it play out?
So he's using it to help leverage his business that he knows he can earn more money on, and he's buying a ranch, a $100,000 ranch. He's up in California area.
But why wouldn't he just buy the $100,000 ranch with the cash? In today's real estate market, it is really difficult to find cash flow, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. For this reason, I'm a huge fan of wholesaling real estate right now specifically. It's the strategy that I'm using in my real estate investing business, and it's what all of our students at Wealthy Investor are doing as well. And we give you everything that you need to start your wholesaling business and have the same exact system that I have. You get the motivated seller leads, the same softwares, the same systems, processes, and one-on-one coaching and support. We'll show you step by step how you can get started today and get your first deal in 30 days or less. So go to wealthyinvestor.com today.
Because now you can do it. Depends on the strategy for the person, but by him sitting it in the checking account right now, he's moving it to his home first to get it paid off.
Yep.
He's saving $1,900 a month, and then he's going to look at what opportunities are there that now he's going to loan it out on. So let's say he loans $100,000 out, and that's going to cost him $600 a month now instead of $1,900 a month.
Yep.
For him to go get his new investment opportunity. So that's why he would do that instead.
So in that scenario, he has no mortgage anymore. He takes $100,000 out on this equity line to go buy this new piece of property.
The farm deal, yeah.
Right? He essentially has no cash in his checking, but he has $100,000 in, line he can.
His home was worth $450,000. So he's going to get access to $405,000 line of credit. So instead of having a $100,000 emergency fund, he now has a $305,000 emergency
Yeah,
fund.
because he has a lot of equity.
Exactly.
But even let's just say the person didn't have, whatever, right? Let's say it was worth $200,000. He would have $100,000 of equity to play with and live off of and whatever, which currently he has $200,000.
Right.
But now he also has only a payment of $600 and 2 properties.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
So it's all for me. It's all
because he could take the $100,000 and just go buy that property.
100%.
But his mortgage would still be $1,900.
Yeah. So now he's thinking like a banker, and that's all we do. It's all like it's all a numbers game. It's just simply a number, and where it can go wrong. Of course, someone's like, I want to get a HELOC, so I'm going to go buy a new boat, and I'm going to go to it. I'm like, never mind. You're not understanding what we're teaching. That's not it.
Yeah. So what would you tell like Brian? Brian's house is paid off. Like, should he get a HELOC and use it or what?
I would never not have a HELOC.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because you're very experienced entrepreneur, fantastic in real estate without even knowing all the things you do. You're sitting on idle, dead money. That's a gold mine that even if it's just for emergencies, opportunities, or investments. If you opened up that HELOC, you'd pay $0 a month. But if you found an opportunity for $200,000 and you're like, I'm going to go throw $200,000 into this and it's going to cost you $1,200 a month or $1,400 a month, could you make more than that off of that investment? And that's just how I look at it.
You just not want to do it because you just don't want debt.
Yeah, I'm like Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
I'm aggressively trying to pay off my properties.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I just say on my primary, it's just like it's almost a free bank that you have.
Yeah.
And so, like, I agree. I'm against consumer debt completely with Dave Ramsey. I agree with that. I would love to pay off my rentals, as much as I could. But your primary, especially in this season, you said you're 35 years old.
Yeah.
You're so young. It's like, how much could you leverage wisely to multiply what you're doing?
What about, can you do that strategy on rental properties too?
Absolutely.
Or it only works?
Absolutely.
Why would the bank give you a HELOC for, let's just say, $400,000? Why would the bank do that?
Because the bank's always going to win. They're making interest off you every month.
Mhm.
So I mean, unless it's an open, if you have it down to zero, they're not making money.
Mhm.
But if you loan out 100,000, they're going to make money off you every month. And this strategy is not taught from. I've never even met a banker who taught this ever. Like,
Mhm.
we go in and teach our bankers, our partnerships, how to do the strategy. So they
Okay.
have a HELOC, but they don't have the methodology and the strategies, which I don't need them to. We just need to teach our clients how to utilize it.
So let's just do another scenario. Let's say I have a rental property that I bought for $300,000. Let's say 330, and I put 30K down.
Okay.
And I'm getting a loan for $300,000, and it produces $3,000 a month, right? Does it make sense to get a HELOC on that property?
I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't.
It only makes sense if you put 20% down.
At least 20% down, and I like to start with primary personally because of the safety of it being in your first position of your home
Mhm.
before we start getting into rental properties. Because if you have, in your case, you could do it, yes.
Yeah.
But in someone who actually has a mortgage payment, I'd never tell them to go do their rental first. Let's focus.
What
on
if
your
they have a
primary first.
mortgage payment that their interest rate is like 3% from 2020?
Dude,
You think it's better to do what you're doing?
mathematically, I'll show you. I mean, we have clients move. I had a client who had a VA loan at 2% who
Mhm.
became a client this year. Moved from
Got
2% to a 6.5. Going to save him thousands. Our average client saved $140,000 in interest alone.
But what happens? But how long are these loans? Like 10 years, 5 years?
So they're 10-year draw periods, but we don't want to hit the 10-year draw. So at year 2, 7, 9, whatever, we want to refinance it and reset the clock
Why?
so that we don't get amortized. After the 10 years, it goes to the amortization schedule like a normal mortgage.
But why wouldn't you wait till like year 9?
You could. But if I
Okay.
find a promo rate at 3.5 and it can make me pay less interest, I'm just going to refinance into that.
Got it. Okay.
So it's just
So
another.
you're just always looking for deals,
I'm
refi deals.
currently no, but like if we are always open to finding promos for sure. Yeah, I ask my banks for those. Like, but right now there's nothing great. Like there's that 6.25 is like
Yeah.
the best thing I can find right now. But rate is
Yeah, it's not going to change between 7.
But rate, I promise you, is not my focus. It's time and balance. Time and balance.
So what
Constantly.
would let's run through the scenario. I buy a rental for $400,000.
You put 100K down.
20% down.
Yeah.
So I owe what, 320. How much faster would I pay the rental off if I put all the cash flow towards the principal versus like if I got a fixed rate and put all the cash flow towards the principal?
Much faster. But I'd have to pull up I have a calculator, proprietary calculator we've developed that I'd have to look at it. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want to make up a number for
Can
you.
you pull it up now?
yeah.
No, I don't think I can. Let me see if I can on my phone. I might be able to. I'm not done it on my phone. Let's see.
Yeah, because what I understand why it would work. Like I said, I think there's 2 reasons why you would do it. One is because you want flexibility of the capital you're putting down. That
Yeah.
to me is the main draw of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I want to aggressively pay down my mortgage and then all of a sudden I have a rough month, a
Yeah.
rough year, and all of a sudden, I've put 100K down towards this mortgage that I didn't have to, I can never get that 100K back.
Mm-hmm.
The only way to get the 100K back is to just
Sell.
refinance, whatever, right?
And you can't refinance if you've lost your job. We've had clients lose their jobs.
Yep.
And they've literally kept their home. And I'm like, would you rather lose your job and lose your home or lose your job and keep your home? And I'm like, that's literally scenarios that happens. Like, and I left my job and kept my home.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found it. So 300,000, what are we doing?
Let's run through the scenario. It's a $400,000 purchase price.
Okay. So 320.
20%. Yeah, 320.
Okay.
Let's say in both scenarios, it cash flows $3,500 a month.
Like netting $3,500 a month.
Yeah, like that's the total rent collected.
Okay, but
Why would you make $3,500
I'm about
a
to say.
month on a friggin' $4,000 house? That ain't gonna happen.
You think it's more or less?
less?
Way less. A $400,000 house?
I think hold on,
I was
let me
thinking like
see.
$500.
Well, and we're not talking cash flow. You're talking just
I'm
rent.
talking about gross rents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But even still, gross rents are not gonna be 1% of the price.
Sometimes. Let me see. Hold on.
Not
So-
in freaking Cali or Vegas. You're like at 0.5%.
I just bought a duplex. Let me see. So I have a duplex.
Oh, is this in Kansas City?
No, this is in, I'm not going to say the city, but it's in California.
Okay.
My loan balance is $325
okay,
and my mortgage payment is $2,600 and it brings in $3,750 a month.
What was it worth?
I could check what I bought it
so
for.
what
Oh,
are
but
you,
I know what you bought it for, but you got a deal. What was
I
it?
got a deal. I don't know.
what are your expenses though? Are you just saying you just put all the cash flow towards it?
Yeah.
Okay, if we put all the cash flow towards it, you're looking at 30 years on the excuse me, 30 years on the mortgage with $453,000 in interest. If you just paid the normal payment with a 7% interest rate, apples to apples.
Mm-hmm.
With a HELOC, you're looking at 10 years, $123,000 in interest. So saving $330,000 in interest alone.
So you're saving
If you
20
paid it
years.
off in 10 years.
If you just did what we just said, just put the $3,750 towards each month.
$3,750 every month. I'm just trying to see what I bought it for.
So he puts $3,750 towards his 30-year mortgage. He would pay it off before 30 years, though.
We're not putting 37. We're saying just in the HELOC doing that. Yeah, if you were to just dump it towards the mortgage, if you have the cash flow for the mortgage and it's a rental property, there's not going to be a difference. If you're just putting 3750.
Oh, so it's the same thing.
Absolutely, if you're doing it that way, but you have no access to the capital in this scenario versus this
Yeah, I
scenario.
bought it for $350. So I bought it for $350,000. It brings in $3,750 a month.
Yeah. So if you just wanted to, if you since your primary's paid off, and you just want to dump $3,750 towards your mortgage every month, that absolutely would work. I would never say that wouldn't work. I'm just saying you don't have access to that capital like you do. That's why we're talking about the primary. Most people need access to their capital if they lose a job, if something goes wrong, opportunities, stuff like that.
Got it.
So Brian is, okay, just to be clear, I want to just make this super clear for the audience. So Brian is getting, let's just call it $3,500 a month in rents.
Uh-huh.
His current mortgage is $2,600.
Yeah. Well, I still wouldn't pay it off. It wouldn't be paid off in 10 years if I did it with my normal way, because the excess is only $1,200 extra a month. And then over a year, that's $1,400. Over 10 years, that's $144,000. But so it is faster doing it your way than the regular
That's what
way.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is faster because your payment doesn't change in your.
What I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to because people all the time like, well, I could just dump all my money in my mortgage. I'm like, great, do that. And if there's ever an emergency, you are screwed.
No,
like if you don't have access to your capital, like the average
access
person,
to the capital is the number one reason. Why this?
We're talking about
and savings and interest. I mean, you do save.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Let's talk about the savings and interest. Okay, so I have an excess of $1,200 a month from the 25 to the 37.
Yeah.
Right. So yearly, that's $14,000.
I thought you said we were doing no expenses, just dumping the whole $3,750 towards the HELOC.
Well, yeah, I'm paying the payment, whatever the payment is, and
the
interest.
The
so
excess.
So excess. So in 10 years, I only paid $144,000.
Gotcha.
Yeah, plus whatever
it paid off
principal, which is probably not going to be that much.
What was the? I remember if you made like one extra payment a year, you paid off in 22 years.
22 years, and they do
bi-weekly. I believe that.
Sometimes you get down to
no, it's the
I don't think so. Bro, I've been making extra payments on all my houses for
22 years.
I've had some for 10 years, bro.
I know, but now
he started investing when he was 7, dude.
But that's when you start hitting actual principal pay down now.
Exactly.
You've never hit principal pay down.
But
you don't.
The excess isn't the extra payment going towards principal or no?
The extra payment goes towards principal, yes. Yeah. But let me tell you whatever. Like this is what financial advisors typically say, or other people who argue this. They'll say do one extra payment a year, or do bi-weekly payments, or do extra towards principal, or do none of those, and say since my rate is a 3%, I'm going to invest it in S&P 500. Right? Have you heard that? So instead of putting extra towards a principal, make your money work for you in investments. Have y'all heard that strategy? It's very, very common.
Hell yeah.
You can do both of those in the first position HELOC.
Yeah.
So my money works for me until I have an opportunity that's better than my loan.
Okay, I want to go back to the scenario. So let's say let's go back to my number. If I'm putting the entire rent towards the interest and the principal,
Yeah.
how much faster can I pay off my house?
I think you'll pay it off in 20 years.
20 years. Would you say that's right?
I think it paid off in 10 years.
No. With his current loan.
Yeah.
No, with his current loan, not
We need to
HELOC.
get on a call where I can do all your math.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
No, I'm saying with my current loan, you're saying 20 years. But what about with your method?
10 years.
yeah,
10 years.
Yeah.
So it's half.
yeah.
Okay. How? Let me just do the math. Because if I put 37,
You said 144,000 is what it did for 10 years. So
Yes.
280,000 over 20 years. You
Yes.
owe
325.
320. It actually is going to be less. You might pay it off in 15 years.
I don't know the math.
In your method or his method?
Your current loan, if you do what you're currently doing,
Yeah.
I'm guessing you'll pay it off in like 15 years.
Oh, because you're saying like the extra principal once it's 10
Let's
years.
just, okay, we'll ask Claude right now. All right, Claude. So Brian has a loan for $320,000.
Uh-huh.
He's proposing, and his mortgage is $2,600 a month,
Mhm.
30 years. He's proposing paying $1,200 extra in principal every single month until it's paid off. How long will it take him to pay off this whole loan with that method? Claude will do all the math for
You
you.
need to create your own AI. So that
Yeah,
way
there
you
you go.
just
Yeah.
tell AI and then it can.
But you don't even need your own AI. You could just, Claude will tell me right now.
But you have to give it like all the context of your like stuff.
Well, yeah, Claude. Well, let's see if Claude knows this method, because Claude knows all. Mr. Claude. Let's see what he says. Okay, I'm working on the loan pay. I like how Claude also tells you what it's doing.
I
Yeah.
know. I
It'll
feel
be
Claude
like,
takes-
well, what you said made no sense. I've
Yeah.
seen it say that. That's like, it doesn't have, that's not real.
I love how I said, well, I was afraid we were going to get in the weeds for the clients. And we're like,
Yeah.
knee deep, like
Yeah.
up to the neck.
Because I'm trying to think of like the people that have rental properties that are watching this.
So rental
Like, where-
properties, again, I still like you starting with your primary first.
I get that. I get that. We're past that. We just gotta keep going in a circle.
But I wanted to make
Okay, so Brian,
He's like, this is not a second. I'm like, I know.
yeah. So Brian, it says in 11 years, 3 months, you'll pay it off.
Oh, damn. Okay.
The
Oh,
quick
that's
math context, 320 at 2,600 a month over 30 years implies a 9% rate. Do you have a 9% rate?
No. Well, actually, I do because I have a hard money loan on it right now.
It knew.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
But remember, I told you, I thought they'd be pretty close to the
Yeah.
same thing from the beginning. That's what I thought
Bumping
too.
the payment to $3,800 a month crushes the timeline from 30 years down to 11. One thing to double check if that 2,600 is PITI, including taxes and insurance, which I
Yeah.
think it is, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Rather than the actual just pure principal. Okay. Now let's see what Claude says. All right, Claude, here's another example. Okay. Let's say I have this other guy who has a method and he wants us to get a first position HELOC. And that payment is only interest. And what he's going to do is apply the $3,700 every month towards that balance. And then after 30 days, he'll pay off, the remaining interest. How much quicker would his method be?
Didn't we do 3,800 on one and 3,700 on another?
Let's see.
I don't know.
Just making sure.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did say, 3,800 on yours.
Well, that's fine.
But let's just
Yeah.
Let's just see what it does.
$100 extras.
I'm really intrigued too.
Yeah, so you get a HELOC. I didn't give it a HELOC loan percentage or interest
Yeah,
rate, so it's probably going to assume
Yeah.
something like that. But let's see. It has to pay it off quicker with the way that we're talking about,
Okay.
because it's all the principal's getting paid down right from the moment you start doing it.
Yeah.
Because in the problem with, I agree, if you're going to aggressively pay down a loan, it makes no sense to get a 30-year loan.
Yeah.
Because you have no liquidity, your payment is high, and your payment never changes no matter how much you pay it down.
Mhm.
And your amortization is so bad. Like interest only, daily interest is always going to be better than the 30-year amortization schedule. It's not even close.
Simple daily interest.
Yeah.
It's like people don't like the word compounded, but it's amortized interest on a mortgage is totally different. Like TIP.
The 30-year mortgage is like the worst product ever.
It's the biggest scam in banking
is.
history, in my opinion. The
It
biggest scam.
It's a great reel right now.
Huh?
It's a great reel.
Dude,
Just keep going.
TIP, total interest percentage? Like people will say they got a 6% rate, but they actually have 130%
No.
total. So your
No
six
TIP.
your 6% is your interest rate, but your rate of interest over the life of the loan is going to be 130% on that plus.
Mm.
Or even if you have a 2.5 interest rate,
Mm-hmm.
your rate of interest on 30 years is going to be 30-40%.
Got it.
So versus a 6% simple interest loan on a HELOC.
Yeah.
So that TIP, that's what I look at with my clients. I'm like, go to your page 4 or 5 year disclosures.
TIP.
Look at your TIP.
It's only done in Atlanta. T.I. used to be my favorite rapper.
Really?
He was just at the M. Did you see that?
Before I was like a good Christian boy.
You had to let go of those days?
Yeah.
I was a hip hop.
Now I listen to T.I. and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
What is he saying?
He's 15. Middle school. Listen. Why did my parents let me listen to this?
Oh my gosh, things I listen to. I'm with you.
Okay, let's see. Okay, apples to apples, 3,800 cash total. Brian, if he did it in his current amortization, 11.2 years. It says the first position HELOC is almost the exact same. It saves 3 weeks, is what it says.
Okay.
But that's honestly what if you're just dumping the same amount of money, it's going to come down to about the same amount of time.
Got it. I'm just not going to have the liquidity.
You just don't, so that's why the way most people are, almost no American is just throwing their whole paycheck on the mortgage.
Yeah, okay. So at that point, if apples to apples of just interest and you're paying it down that, the benefit of the HELOC is that it's not the $3,500 a month for the 11 years.
Right.
Mm.
It comes down to
or not the $3,500, the $2,600 that you're owed regardless.
Yeah.
And you get access to it if you ever want to draw against it.
Or if you want to go buy another rental off of it and you take $50,000 for a down payment on another rental,
it just gives you flexibility as a
okay. Let's say now in this scenario, I pay it off. Can I get a HELOC on a rental property?
Absolutely. That's
First position.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You'll be told by everyone
That
all
makes
these things.
sense. That
you'll be told by everybody
sense.
what you can't do. That's why our niche is such a big deal. Is because
you just explained 2 ways to do this. So one is for the rental guy. Basically, if a rental guy's like Brian, he's aggressively paying down his balance. He wants to be done in 10 years to own this thing. It really only gives him flexibility, but the timeline's going to be the exact same.
Yep. If you he's just dumping money on there for sure.
Okay, that makes sense to me. And then your model with the primary is that you use it like a checking account where now all your paychecks are coming in to pay off the HELOC and you're arbitraging the savings of your paycheck.
Yeah. Because that's the average American. That's where they don't pay off their 30-year mortgage. They refinance it 10 times and never even pay it off. So that's what we're trying to help that average person.
You're trying to get these guys paid off in 10 years or
less. Absolutely. Like if it gets even to the 12 or 13 number, we normally work strategy before we bring them on as a client. Our average client is legit 5 to 10 years. And what's
the limit to the HELOC you can get? Like, what's
I mean, I just landed one with the guy who called me when you and me were on Zoom. He became a client. I don't know if you remember, but he just got a $2 million loan last week.
Damn. Okay.
In Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
On his house.
So I didn't want to name drop, but he became a client.
It's somebody that we've had on the show.
It's a primary.
Yeah.
I was literally on a call with Pineda and he called me. I'm like, and he became a client about 2 weeks later.
Got it. Because I feel like
he may or may have went golfing with us.
You can go ahead and guess it.
It's Ivan. No, I'm joking. But okay, so to me, I guess for me, the benefit would be now I could pay off a rental and then get a HELOC on it.
Have access to capital.
In case I need to use the money.
I mean, the reality is, I've done a few deals for you where I transactionally funded.
Yeah.
If you would have had a HELOC on your house, you could have just did it yourself and not paid me.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
That's what I've done for my own. I have a small real estate portfolio, but it's all been for my primary. So I bought 14 doors in about 2.5 years, all for my primary.
I wonder if I should just get a HELOC and then do transactional funding for people.
For sure. It's free money. Because you're not going to pay anything on your house while you're just, you don't have a deal. And then when you have a deal, you take out $300,000, $400,000, lend it for 3 days, pay interest for 3 days on $300,000. Like, what does it cost? 7% on $300,000 daily.
$2,100.
No.
Daily, you're saying? Oh yeah, I don't know.
It's like $300.
60 bucks. Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It would cost you like $200 to borrow that money
Got it.
for the 3 days or
Because when I started this, I was not making great income. I had pretty standard income, W-2, but I started learning the game very quickly, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's what banks do. That's
How much are you making now?
how much am I making now? More than I was when I was a pastor.
So what's the loan limit on these HELOCs?
I just asked that. He said he just got one for $2 million.
Yeah, well, I got
No. I'm saying percentage of equity.
Income.
Percentage of
Debt to
equity.
income ratio.
DTI. Yeah, your DTI needs to be typically below 45%. So like, that's it.
No, I'm saying like of house value.
So
Is it 80%?
80% to 90%. We get 90% for people who have a credit score above 720, 740.
Oh, okay. So above 720.
So that, the guy, like if my home was worth $1 million, I could get a $900,000 line of credit. I'm in Texas. They cap you at 80% in Texas, so I could get an $800,000.
Oh, they cap you in Texas.
Texas got some weird regulations. So that's why I'm glad I'm there, because I got a lot of clients in Texas and I can actually help them out.
What does
Side
it
note-
cost to get these loans?
Yeah.
So I'm closing on Tuesday. Not my home is a little bit over $1 million, and I'm paying $0 in closing, title,
That's
appraisal.
out of pocket.
I'm paying nothing. There was no fees. They got waived because it's a first position HELOC.
So there's no closing costs.
On the bank I'm working with for my home, there's no closing costs. Probably 80% of our banks is zero.
Do they just
Literally
build it into
zero.
the loan or what?
Do what?
Do they just build it into the interest rate?
Nope, they don't even build it in. They waive it, and I don't even know why. But a lot of second lien HELOCs are $0. You can go look this up. A lot of HELOCs, because I think
What the hell?
most people get a HELOC and they go into more debt. That's what I'm saying. The
The
education.
bank's like, yeah. Come on, man.
The education behind it is so bad. People get second lien HELOCs and they go to a trip to Italy or buy a car they can't afford, or go fix the kitchen that they don't need to, or
And most lenders I know of, right? Like I know of lenders in the hard money world, right? And so Brian has a hard money loan on this rental and whatever else. And then I know of just your traditional lenders doing 30-year loans and stuff. But I've never met anyone that does a first position HELOC and that's their pitch.
You're like everybody else. That's when I realized that, I was like, oh my gosh, nobody knows.
And
about
you're
this.
not a lender though.
No, I'm just an education guy, just teaching strategies.
So how do you get paid?
So a lot of different ways, but I got a community, and so we have a strategy call with people, see if you qualify. We go through.
Then you just push them to the lenders.
Yeah, and then we have our community where we push them through our tax strategists, our lenders, solo 401ks for debt consolidation. Sometimes we have to do that before they qualify for their DTI.
Okay.
So we have different business funding, credit hacking.
So this is just one of the things that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I thought about?
Where by the way, just before that, where do people go if they want to do that?
So you go to my website, hardmakesyoubetter.com, or Tyler.
Hard makes you better.
Yeah.
I like that.
What did that go wrong?
So
That's
that's
what my
like,
wife tells me.
yeah, exactly. So there's always the innuendo with it, but like you always heard like choose the hard way or choose the narrow road. So anytime something's hard in life, whether it's involved with working out or marriage or finances,
Yeah.
I've always said like choose the hard way. So hard, when my kids say something's hard, we're like, well, hard makes you better. Go right through.
Hardmakesyoubetter.com.
Yeah, or TylerHennessee.com. You can go to that too.
All right. We're gonna have to work. I'll work on you with your branding.
Yeah, branding.
we need a
Yeah,
much
branding's
simpler
crazy.
domain name.
Okay.
This is my name.
I want to ask you guys.
It's a hard name to spell.
Hennessee like Tennessee.
Yeah.
Hennessee like Tennessee.
All right. What was your question?
Okay. I want to ask you guys about wealth. Right. So I don't want to get dark here,
Uh-oh.
but
Turn the lights
I
down.
thought about it the other day. I was like, dude, if I passed away, like, would my kids actually be set up with my rental properties? And I was like, I don't think so, because I don't think my wife would like understand how to like manage it all and like all this crap.
Yeah.
So like, have you guys thought about how to set up your wealth so your family could actually live off of it if something happened?
So, I mean, do you have a trust and everything?
No.
Well, you need a trust. I don't know
Why?
how you don't have
That's
a
the
trust
first thing I would have said too.
Yeah.
Why do you need a trust?
Because
Probate.
literally everything's going to go through probate right now. If you died today, all the probate deals we've bought, you'll be that guy.
But
I'll be buying your
For 2 or
house.
3 years. Yeah.
But what if she doesn't want to sell them? What if she just wants
doesn't
to
matter.
keep them?
It's going to still go through probate to go through who actually owns it. That's the whole point of probate.
Okay. I need to trust. Okay, so step 1, get a trust.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to like managing these assets.
Yeah, okay. So now you got a trust, right? And the trust outlines what happens with your assets. So for our trust, Mindy and I have literally sat with the trust guy multiple times, because as our family has grown, we've had to keep changing the trust. As our relationships have changed. We've had to change the trust because, you know, it's just business keeps changing, right? And so it outlines, hey, this is what happens with the businesses. This is what happens with the real estate. Even so, like that happens with the trust. The second thing you have to get is a life insurance policy. Do you have that?
No.
Well, you're an idiot. Okay. So why
Life insurance guys, call me.
I got both of those.
I'm just kidding.
yeah, how have we hung out this long and you just don't do these things?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
but I'm talking about the real
Okay.
estate.
No,
Like,
no, because this matters because you're wealthy, your life insurance policy is going to be a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like mine's 8 figures.
Oh, wow.
So either way, even if she totally can't manage any of the stuff, like she'll have money.
Yeah.
And you could live off 8 figures and just live off the interest. And, you know, that would make $800,000 a year if, you know,
Okay.
so,
Now let's get to the real estate.
okay. So, but those two are way more important. Like you don't have any
trust.
of those.
I could do those, but what's
What
going
I
to
would
happen
do,
to
by
my
the
rental
way-
properties?
Now, by the way, we actually have some life insurance guys coming on.
Okay.
Jesse, Burrell, and Devin.
We need to get Giuliani.
They're coming in like
Lazzarelli.
they're coming like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now that kid don't know anything about it.
I
He's
trust
18
that
years
guy.
old.
Have
I
you seen
trust
him?
that kid.
I trust that kid.
Have you seen that guy?
No.
I gotta show
I
you.
like him.
Yeah.
But no, he
He's
don't.
enthusiastic.
been in the-
I'm gonna give him my
He
business.
just graduated high school like a year
You're
ago.
giving my business. I like the
it,
energy.
dude.
But anyway, so those guys are coming in 2 weeks. You can ask them all about what they think of life insurance.
Have you seen this guy? Hello.
He's just dancing all crazy. Hello.
Oh yeah, I actually have seen him.
Yeah. He sells insurance.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. I would buy insurance. Like I would go with the guys.
I get insurance. I pass away. They're like, you never got. You recovered.
or buy my thing. Just dancing. So I have term. Dave Ramsey likes term too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got term and some cash value policies too.
Yeah. Term is like super cheap to have. My policy cost me like nothing to get that big of a policy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, that's number 2. Number 3 is okay, now how does she manage this crap?
Yeah. You're cooked.
You're cooked.
You might lose some.
No. Honestly, and this is a conversation you and I should have off camera, but before you and I did a lot of things, I set up my trust like 7-8 years ago. I really do need to update it again. Maybe we re-updated it maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. So even like Judah and Psalm aren't even there yet.
Mhm.
Like it's basically says like, hey, and if we have any more kids, it just continues to split, you know, between the kids. It outlines when they actually get money,
Yep.
all that stuff, right? And then it goes into who's the custodian of the money. What you might want to do is have like me be the custodian,
Of my rental
vice
properties.
versa.
Yeah.
and I don't make anything off of it. It's just somebody you trust
Yeah.
that will make sure that
It's just
they
an
make the
executive
best
executor
decision.
on your will, basically.
Yeah, like I'll look at it and be like, all right, I'll make sure we're set up with property.
He wholesales my houses.
I'm like, look, I should buy them.
Sell them to yourself.
Ovation.
Yeah.
Jessica, just sign this.
Yeah, just
Give you
good.
$1 million flat.
It's good.
Yeah, but is that pretty much it? You have to set someone.
you need
to-
you need a custodian you trust.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, dude, Jessica would not be, my wife would not be able to like figure out like, okay, who's paying?
Well,
where they're
usually if you don't have anyone, it's the trust guy who makes it. He becomes the default custodian
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
or like a CPA.
But they usually just sell it. They're not trying to like keep it going.
No, because not if you outline the stuff like you said ahead of time. If you already
he'll just
outlined it,
follow what you outline.
Yeah.
So like what you might say is you're like, hey, if I die, I know she can't manage, therefore they're fire sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what it-
Listed on
Yeah,
Zillow
just-
for sale by owner.
Yeah, Fizbo it. Or you say, hey, if I die, Ryan is in control and
Yeah.
he gets to decide how to do it.
Got it. Got it. Is there any other wealth strategies?
Well, you just asked about dying.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, death strategies after.
well, there's
you
tons of
die.
tax strategies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
yeah, like you just you named a few things that are interesting.
I mean, y'all know solo 401ks, like they call like the rich man's Roth, basically.
No.
Yeah, you can basically just build this thing up tax free.
Instead of putting $7,500 a year in a Roth, you can put up like the 26.5 right now. It changes every year. You can maximize like with a spouse up to 80,000 right now, tax free. You can self direct out of it into real estate deals. It's basically a mega self directed account. And you can maximize your retirement very, very quickly. You guys, if you're as business guys, if you don't have one, you should have a solo 401k.
I don't trust 401ks.
It's a solo 401k. This is like a self-directed account. So
but why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just use the 80K and buy another house?
If you're going to put it in there and it's tax deferred, so I mean tax free. So when you get that money back in 15 years, you've already paid the taxes on the front end, like a Roth would be.
But why would I put my money somewhere where I can't touch it for 15 years?
Well, you don't have to. You'd always.
I want you to convince me. Like this could be dumb, but I don't trust 401ks.
And that's why we're getting rid of the 30-year mortgage. We want to be able to
It's a solo 401k. I don't have Social Security. I opted out of that 15 years ago as a pastor. And then I don't have a 401k.
So you guys aren't into 401ks?
I'm not.
I don't have one now.
Okay, that's good.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
I think it's
I think it's a scam.
It's all a scam. The banking system.
Except like, first position HELOCs.
Infinite HELOCs.
That's
and letting me be the custodian.
Yeah.
Those are legit.
But yeah, is there any other like wealth tools? There's 401ks, rental properties.
People do it through cash value policies. You have but I'm not advertising.
So you mentioned this. You said once these people start paying it down aggressively, they now are building up net worth and they have access to capital.
Mm-hmm.
And once they get a new opportunity that they can invest in that beats, the
interest rate,
HELOC, right? Then that's what they should do. So like, what are some of the things that they're doing after that?
I got quite a few in Texas. Actually, I have some stuff in Utah, which is just coincidental because one of the people I work with is in Vegas. But we got land deals, private lending deals, trust deeds, real estate deals that you can get. Like some have,
you just got buddies who do these deals.
And they're not, I'm not trying, they're definitely buddies, but these are people who've been doing this for 20, 30 years. I mean, that's what they do for a living. And so there's like,
now your boy Giuliano.
Yeah.
these are like,
we need to get him on the show.
Like your name can go on the title of land. So you're like, your name is literally in first position. So as a debtor, so you're like a lender as opposed to an equity position, or you can do equity and get tax depreciation. I mean, accelerated depreciation on the front end too.
What type of real estate investing do you like doing?
So I got single family homes that I'm trying to get out of most of them at this point.
Okay.
That's how I started. And I like the private lending world and the land deals, like I was just talking about, because these are the money's backed by the collateral of the product. So like the project. So for instance, we had a $4 million land deal in Briggs, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The dirt is paid for free and clear. They come in and add these modular homes. You can come in as an equity owner and get pref rate, or you can come in as a debtor and get a little bit higher rate of return, but these are contractually fixed rate of returns.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm going to make 12% or 14% and it pays out quarterly.
Mm.
So when it pays out quarterly, what do you think I tell my clients to do? Take that money and put it on their HELOC. So they loaned it out at a lower rate, they get it at a higher rate, and that's how we accelerate the payoff.
What would be, not to go back to the death thing, but let's say if I was like, all right, Ryan, you guys have to invest money and it needs to be enough money for your wife to live off of. What would you invest in?
Oh, so basically I'm taking your life insurance policy and investing for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends how much the life insurance is, but like,
say it's $5 million.
I would diversify the heck out of it personally, but
you have to set it up.
You already
so it's
have
passive.
real estate. So if you already have the rentals,
but it has to be passive.
I get it. I mean, if you already have the rentals, what I would do, I mean, this is like what a family office is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like the whole point of a family office is once these guys make so much cash, they literally start a business, aka a family office, that's sole purpose is to just invest passively for the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll hire the best investment banker, the best, not really entrepreneurs. Like these guys are just numbers dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And, they'll be like, all right, the family has $30 million. Let's make this last forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll backtrack it and they'll be like, okay, what does the family need to live off of, yearly? It's like, oh, the family needs $1 million. Let's just say, okay, cool. Well, if we have 30 million liquid, I mean, you could just get 8%. That's $2.4 million in just the stock market. You don't even have to do anything if you wanted to really just do that.
So then they would invest the 30 million into the stock market and then just pull out 2 million a year.
It would just naturally grow
dividends
to 32.4. You take out $1 million to live off of. Now it's 31.4.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, 31.4 becomes 33.8. Take out $1 million. Now it's 32.8.
Got it.
It's just going to keep growing. That's the point of the family office. Now they'll do other investments. It's not, I'm using just a simple one vehicle, but they may say, yeah, let's put 10 million in the stock market. Let's put 10 million into rental properties, free and clear. And then, it's the guy at the family office's job. He gets paid as an employee of the family office to oversee all of it and make it passive.
Okay.
So like I wouldn't do that. Like, as far as like, if it was that big, cause like it's a full-time job to like make it passive for her.
Yeah.
And then to also too, that person has to deal with your kids as they get older, because
once they turn 18 or 21,
it's a forever thing.
Yeah.
But like you could have it to me to like set all of it up. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find this guy who's gonna manage their money and do all that crap and whatever.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what normal people do when they're like, all right.
Well, normal people don't have a family office. They don't make them.
Normal people don't have much retirement, because I see it every day.
Yeah.
Dude, they don't have much in savings. They don't have much.
Person, what do they do when they're like, all right, like, what is the true best passive income source?
Well, what most people die old for one, right? So it's like their kids never even, like, usually a rich person, what will happen is they'll die old and then the money just gets split to the kids.
Got it.
There is no whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody gets rich very quickly, let's say you and I start a family office, here in our 40s. Like I there's lots of people at M19 who have family offices, like right now. They're in their 40s because they've made so much money that it's another business just to manage their money.
Got it.
It's another level.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of guys who we've met that are there. They do it.
Interesting.
Like I was even talking to Tommy Mello at the last WealthCon, and
yeah, like someone like him, he would be a great example.
Yeah, I mean, he's young, he's in his 30s. He has $1 billion net worth.
Damn.
He has a family office whose sole job is to just
manage,
grow it.
Damn.
Because he can't do it. He's busy running the business.
Yeah.
So he don't even, like, if he gets an investment opportunity, he passes it to just, he's like, hey, go look at it.
So do you guys put all your rentals in trusts?
Mine are in LLCs right now. They're not in trusts yet.
Yeah.
He might. And I don't have, again, I have.
No, mine are just in LLCs.
I don't have a ton. So, and I'm trying to liquidate.
Okay. So you don't need to change the title to the trust. You just need the trust to be able to control.
The trust will own the LLCs.
Got it. Yep. Okay.
It's like an umbrella.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Your trust guy will do all that.
Got it. Who do you use for trust?
I'll give them to you after.
Okay. They don't do it at what's your tax company called?
Oh, Taylor? Well, we can refer, but no, setting up a trust and everything's completely different. I mean, these are lawyers and like has nothing to do with tax. I mean, trust and tax go hand in hand. Like there's structures, so they work together.
Got it.
Yeah. Well, bro.
That went off.
There's a lot. There's a lot to think, but all of it relates to why we're talking about, all these things.
Yeah.
So to recap, if anyone wants to join your community, learn about first position, learn about, the other investment opportunities they have once, they get that. But would you say that that's the core thing they join for?
That's been what people have been finding out about for sure. It wasn't my original intent, but it's what I use to pay off my own home. And I think that's a very exciting thing for people to hear that. And they're like, what's the catch? I'm like, well, there's not a catch. Just the numbers have to work. But yeah. I love getting into the tax strategy and the investments and all that stuff for sure.
Dude, I don't, before we wrap up, I want to touch on one more thing.
Okay.
Did you guys see Brandon Turner's fund? Do you know who Brandon Turner is?
The bigger
pockets guy? Yeah. Like one of his funds like collapsed, I guess you would say, or like lost. What do you guys think of that?
So everyone lost their money?
It says the investors lost somewhere around $15 million. He lost the property.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked to him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say what him and I have talked about.
Yeah.
But my just overall opinion is, I mean, obviously no one wants to lose money in anything, whether it's an investment, a business, giving money to a friend, like whatever, right? No one wants to lose money. But at the same time, like, I think people get this idea that like every investment should be risk-free. It's just not.
That's true.
It's like Every single person who invested in that fund is a big boy. They're all accredited investors. They're all millionaires by definition. I'm
They
sure
probably read a PPM that told them exactly what could happen.
but 1000% did. They
Yeah.
read a 120-page PPM or whatever the number is, and that outlined the risk, the reward, and everything else. And it's like, it lost, you know? And from what I know, he did everything possible to make it work. I mean, he moved to Texas. He freaking, you know, they had great occupancy levels. It's just rates are what they are. Values aren't where they are. Like, what are you going to do? You know, and it sucks, but
that's the worst part of investing. I mean, or even referring stuff. Like that's why I try to be extremely careful, extremely conservative, because I've already in my short 6 years of kind of going back into the business world, I've lost a lot of money in one deal.
How much?
Well, for me, it was a ton of money. At the time, it was $132,000.
That's a lot.
I've lost millions.
But it taught me, literally, I told her probably 20x. They just taught me so much on how to bet in the future. So now I'm just...
You bet it on someone else.
Yep.
Got it. Was it a fund?
It was a business, we'll call it that.
Got it.
Yeah.
And almost, if you're in real estate investing long enough, I mean, I've talked to real estate investors who've been at this for 40 years. I've yet to find one that never lost.
Yep, I agree with that too.
Yeah.
At some point, right? Whether it's their own, other people's, whatever. But like, you know, I think Brandon did a good job of just being transparent about it. That's what I've always done with all my losses and headaches and lawsuits and whatever. And it just is what it is. You know, I'm just like, this is what happened. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Wanted to win and we didn't.
Yeah. My biggest problem is that even in like, I don't know his exact fund structure, but it's like the people who think that, you know, he should be on the hook for it are quite frankly really stupid. They are. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like if his fund structure is the investors get 70-80% of the upside, you want them to also have zero risk and zero downs. That makes, in what world does that make any sense? That, oh, great, you know, I'll invest with you. Give me all the upside and you take all the downside. What world does that? And also, I'm a big boy. Like, I've made a lot of money in my life and I don't want any risk. You want no risk? Go buy a CD.
Yep.
And make 2%. That's what you can go do.
I agree completely.
And even that, if the US dollar collapses,
you said it.
It could be worth zero.
The fact that we trust the banking system was what's hilarious to me. I'm like, you're losing to inflation in a CD.
Yeah, it's just like, savings, bro, you're going to lose money in business. You're going to lose money on investments. You're going to lose money on opportunities that you missed out on that you didn't do anything with. Like, it's life. And it sucks.
Someone told us a long time ago, my wife and I, they're like, when your hands are like this, like you don't even have a place for God to put something into it. So you've got to kind of live a little bit more open-handed. Yeah. So like I think you got to take some marginal risk in life to have, like, even what you're doing. You said you're risk averse and conservative.
Yeah.
There's no way you have real estate and have not taken
for sure
calculated risks.
Well, here's the other part too that you got to think about when you structure deals is like, so on my house flips where I lost millions when the market turned, I structured all those deals as I got 100% of the upside and I paid out interest. And you know what happened? I also got 100% of the downside and paid out interest even when it went south. And so none of my investors lost money during that time. And it was a very painful thing for me to do. But I paid, you know, all those people back because that was the deal structure. Now, if you're going into an equity deal where we're equity partners, we win together, we lose together. You can't all of a sudden be like, well, bro, we lost. It's like, well, we're equity partners.
Yep.
Like that doesn't make any sense. Like now, if you wanted to give an interest-only loan and, you know, that's a different story.
If you're an equity partner, you also got the benefit on the front end, hopefully on depreciation. So you got something out of it.
Yeah. They all got depreciation.
Exactly.
You know, now they all get a capital loss write-off, which is, you know, obviously not ideal, but like that is what happens when you're an equity partner. You can't have it both ways is the point.
I agree.
Imagine if I was like investing with, I don't know, your new business, your roofing company you're going to start. And I was like, hey, Brian, bro, I'll fund the roofing company. Okay. But I need 80% of the profits. And by the way, if you fail, I want all my money back. That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
So, you know, like it sucks. And people will be like, well, you've lost people money. I'm like, look at the deal structure. If I structure a deal, I'm going to tell you the risk. I'm going to tell you the reward. And if you're okay with both scenarios, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And if you're not, it's all good. But like, I take risky bets all the time. I'm freaking from Vegas, dude. But I've you can get rich slow, taking no risk and doing Dave Ramsey's approach, or you can take some.
No,
Maybe.
I'm messing.
I've seen like this 80-year-old who retired.
I'm like, I'm gonna be so happy when I'm 79 years old.
Yeah. I always tell the funny story. I saw them post on and I love Dave now that we're friends, but I saw them post like this debt-free cruise, and it just cracks me up because like I'm looking like, dude, there's like 1 million people on this cruise. I'm like, dang, dude, these are all debt-free people. And like you zoom in, they're all like 80.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
They're all like
they finally like are enjoying the cruise.
They're walkers and they're
on their wheelchairs, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. Like I'd rather enjoy life and have debt.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. All right, bro. So what's it called again? Website?
My name, TylerHennessee.com or hardmakesyoubetter.com.
Hardmakesyoubetter.com. Davila, you going to get a first position HELOC?
Yes.
There
Let's
we go.
go, dude.
I'll try it.
Let's go.
Make sure you get the right kind, baby.
All right. Well, I'll make you up. Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. If you like this episode, let us know. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching the last episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure you catch the next episode that's playing right now.